All right, dentists, let's talk about a question that I get asked constantly, especially by dentists who are newer in their careers. What dental CE should I do? What courses should I take to progress as a dentist? It's a great question, but I'm going to tell you right now that the way most of us approach it is fundamentally flawed. And I want to give you some major advice today that I really wish I had listened to when I was first out. Early in my career, I equated going to CE with progressing as a dentist. The more courses I took, the more I felt like I was moving forward, like I was getting better. And while continuing education is obviously helpful and necessary, just attending a course is actually the wrong thing to focus on, and it's the wrong attitude to have if you genuinely want to grow. It's kind of like someone with a shopping addiction. They get a temporary rush, a feeling of accomplishment when they go out and buy something new. It makes them feel better for a moment. And I see this exact same pattern happen all the time in the world of dental CE. We sign up, we go to a course, we sit in a lecture hall, and we feel like we've accomplished something significant, like we've made real progress. But here's the hard truth. Most of the time, that feeling is a complete illusion. Today, we're going to completely reframe how you think about continuing education. We're going to shift the focus from which CE course should I take to what am I trying to accomplish and how will I actually make it happen. My goal is to give you a new framework for evaluating and selecting CE that will ensure that you don't just accumulate knowledge, but you actually implement new skills. You grow your practice and see a real return on your investment of time and your money. The entire point of going to a dental CE course is to learn and, most importantly, implement new skills and services into your practice. Actually sitting in a course, especially one that isn't particularly well structured for implementation, is a very, very small part of making that happen. A good CE course is supposed to give you the clinical knowledge and hopefully the confidence to start incorporating a new procedure into your daily work. But here's the problem. I see this with all traditional CE. Most courses give you an academically based theoretical knowledge about a subject. They teach you the what and the why, but not necessarily the practical real-world how. At least not in the way that seems to translate to a busy private practice environment. Plenty of concepts are academically interesting and make perfect sense, like on a PowerPoint slide, but they just don't apply well or are incredibly difficult to integrate into the realities of a daily practice. So the issue is that these courses often give you a portion of the knowledge, but they fail to provide you with the comprehensive system, the hands-on confidence, and the practical understanding of how to truly implement that skill in your practice. So not only that, but they rarely, if ever, teach you how to find the right patients for this new skill that you're learning. And often the jump from where you currently are clinically to being able to confidently perform that new procedure by yourself on a live patient in your own office, it's such a massive leap for most dentists that they never actually take it. That binder just goes on the shelf and it starts collecting dust. Now, let me throw a number out there based on my experience. I would bet that for every 5 CE courses the average dentist attends, they only truly implement the skills from maybe one of those 5 courses in any meaningful way. Think about it. That makes the dental CE so incredibly expensive and highly ineffective because it doesn't actually lead to any real change in how you practice or the services that you offer. So I want you to start thinking less about which specific CE course you're going to select and more about what you are comprehensively trying to accomplish. Let's say you want to add a new procedure to your practice, like implants or root canals. You need to view this as a complete business and clinical project. It's not just a weekend course. If your objective is to successfully add dental implants to your practice, you need a master plan. Think about all the different components. Yes, you need the technical know-how to place the implant, but you also need to know what equipment to buy, what surgical kits you need, the inventory of implants to stock, you need the systems for ordering and sterilization. You need to know what prescriptions to give the patient and what your post-op protocols are. You need a system for how to screen your patients, what cases that you should take on as a beginner, and which ones you should not touch and refer out. But it goes well beyond the clinical. You also need to figure out how you're going to get patients for those procedures. How will you market this new service? How will you present it to patients to get case acceptance? And how much are you going to charge to ensure that it's actually profitable for your practice? You have to understand the profitability of these procedures from day one, and you absolutely need to understand how to deal with the inevitable complications that will arise from whatever you do. Every procedure has them. You need to map out this entire master plan and figure out how you're going to accomplish each and every one of those things. Then, and only then, you start looking at CE courses. And when you do, you can evaluate them against your master plan and say, okay, this course seems to check these 3 boxes, but it doesn't address these other 4. Before you register and pay for any CE course, you need to have a clear understanding of how you're going to fill in all of the other missing pieces on your checklist to make sure that this new skill is integrated and it becomes a reality in your practice. If you don't figure all of that out ahead of time, then don't take the CE course. I'm serious. Just taking a CE course without a comprehensive game plan to implement all the necessary components is a complete waste of money because it won't happen. It just won't. So what does a good CE program look like? A good implementation-focused program should check most of the boxes on your master plan. It should not only teach you the clinical skill, but also provide guidance on instrumentation, case selection, managing complications, and even give you some pointers on marketing and profitability. It should be designed to bridge that massive gap between the lecture room and your operatory. If you approach CE in any other way than this, let's be honest with ourselves, all you're doing is going on a dental vacation and trying to justify it to yourself and your accountant as a worthwhile use of your time and money. In reality, you'd be better off and probably less stressed just going to Disneyland or Hawaii and not doing anything dental at all. If you're going to learn a new skill and truly implement it, then commit to it. Do it right. Create a comprehensive plan. Don't just go on a dental vacation because that's the worst of both worlds. You spend the money and time, but you get no real return in your practice. Now, we also need to have realistic expectations. It is difficult to properly implement a new skill in a busy practice. A busy clinician will do very well by successfully implementing one significant new skill or service per year. One. If you try to do more than that, you probably won't have enough time, energy, or focus to properly implement any of them. So be realistic with your goals. I'll leave you with this thought. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, more expensive than a CE course that does not fundamentally change the way that you practice and function as a business. Choose wisely, plan thoroughly, and make your CE investments truly count. Now, I'd love to hear more from you. What's the biggest hurdle that you faced when trying to implement a new skill or a procedure after taking a course? Has it been the clinical confidence, the business systems, finding the patients, or maybe something else? Let me know your experience in the comments below, and let's keep working together to make dentistry more fun, fulfilling, and rewarding. And subscribe so you don't miss the next strategy. I'll see you soon.